Hey there everyone, and welcome back to another Arcane Devlog. So over the past few days I've been extremely busy, so I haven't really been able to record much. I've just been continuing on with last week's work with the resource manager and whatnot. Pretty much all that's left to do with that system is abstract all of the data from loading in those textures and whatnot, which is currently hard-coded, out into its own sort of data format so we can just load it in all at runtime and even just do hot reloading, so that'll be good. In order to do that, I've got to do some serialization work, and so that's going to cover the save game stuff as well, so that's pretty much what we're going to lead into with this system. And I'm not too sure how I'm going to go about it yet. I've done a ton of research on serialization and I'm sort of leaning towards the serial library, but that would require me to use smart pointers in my whole code base, and I just don't really want to go there. But yeah, I'll guess we'll see how we go. The other alternative to that is making my own serialization sort of system, library, whatever you want to call it, but that's probably going to take a considerable amount of time longer, and yeah, I'm sort of torn. So that's what today's goal is going to be. We might do some design work surrounding that. We might get into implementation, but I guess we'll just see how things go. Okay, so I've been doing a bit of research surrounding serialization and whatnot, and I've decided to go the route of implementing my own system. So yeah, the way we're going to store all of our data is going to be in the JSON format. So I've just integrated the JSON CPP library into the project, and I've just set up a little test here in which we're writing data into the JSON file. So yeah, if we open up that test.json file that we've written it into, it's correctly formatted it, and yeah, that's how we're going to store all our data and try and read back from it, I guess. So the tricky part of this whole system is pretty much going to be the whole pointer side to things. Just serializing normal data like integers and whatnot, it's fine, that's easy. But when we get down to objects, and if objects have pointers to other objects and maybe they circle back on each other and whatnot, that's going to be really difficult, but we can definitely get it done. It's doable. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a task, but it's going to be good fun. So yeah, I'm going to grab some lunch now, and then we're going to get stuck into things for a bit. Okay, so I've got very basic data serialization working now. I've just got an array of these test objects here, which is just a test sort of struct class or whatever. And yeah, we're just creating 3 different objects, each with their own sort of name and variables in them, I guess. Then down here, this is actually getting all of this data is being looped through and stored into the JSON file. So if we run this, and then go into the JSON file, all of those objects have then been written into it, respectively. So, now that that's in there, we can actually completely get rid of this, and we go over into the deserialization method, and run this, and just put a quick breakpoint here. Then it's going to actually read that JSON file, and then reconstruct those objects back into this array, and it hasn't worked. There we go. It's going to break here, and we look at our deserialized objects, and as you can see, it's all been reconstructed into this array. So all that's left to do is actually create a whole interface for this with the Arcane objects, and then figure out how to actually do pointers and whatnot, and then yeah, we should be good to go. So a couple days of this, and we should actually have a fully working serialization system. So yeah, I'm actually quite surprised that this all works. I didn't think I'd touch on serialization for a while because I just had no idea how to do it, but now I do. Okay, so today I've just been continuing on with the serialization work. Most of it's just been design work and the API side of things, like how everything is going to work and how you're going to save stuff within objects and whatnot. But I've started actually implementing the serialization side of things. I'm yet to do deserialization, but yeah, this pretty much kind of works now, only with very basic data types. We don't have pointers or actual objects implemented yet. So yeah, this is pretty much the API right now. All you have to do is override this archive function and provide it with whatever data you want to be serialized or deserialized. Anyway, so that's probably going to be all the work that I get done for today. I'm actually moving to Brisbane in a couple weeks, so I've got quite a bit of packing to do. So for the rest of the day, I'm just going to pack up all my stuff, box it all up, and yeah, just get ready to go, I guess. Alrighty, so it's been quite a while since I've done an update on anything. I've mainly just been working on the serialization system, just continuing on with that. I finally got the resources loaded in from a separate file. So this is where you declare all of the textures and animations and whatnot over here. I haven't implemented hot reloading, but I think that's what I'm going to do next. Anyway, so that's the resource loading, that's all mostly finished. So I've been extremely busy for the past week, just hanging out with family and doing some packing for moving. So yeah, not too much in the way of progress, but at least we've gotten the serialization system mostly finished off now. I'm not too sure what I'm going to move on to next after this. I guess we'll just do a bit more polishing on the serialization system and yeah, see where we go from there. So, I'm back, and I'm bald. So yeah, I've been quite busy these past couple weeks with moving to Brisbane, but I believe everything's all set up now, and I'm ready to resume work on Arcane. So I left off working on the resource loading from the JSON file. It's pretty much working now. All we've got to do is implement the refresh button, so say if I'm actually running the game, I can just dynamically change textures and whatnot. So yeah, that should be pretty useful when putting stuff together, when loading content into the game. I'm going to try and get that working today. It hopefully shouldn't be too difficult, but yeah, I guess we'll just see how we go. Okay, so I've pretty much finished the refresh functionality. So I'll just show an example of it in use real quick. And then we can grab this texture here, just open up in Photoshop, do a bit of editing, save it, and then go back in, and we can hit F5, and that's going to reload the texture. Now with the animation, we can actually edit the frame interval of that, so change it to ½ a second instead, and then that's just going to run a lot slower. So yeah, not too much, but it's going to be pretty handy when putting artwork together and doing environments and whatnot, so that should be fairly useful. Anyway, to finish the day off, I'm either going to work on the time dilation or finishing off the serialization with the pointers and whatnot. But yeah, I'm going to go make some lunch real quick, and then we will get to it. Alrighty, so I'm pretty much all finished up with pointer serialization. At least I think I am. I haven't done too much testing, but from what I have done, it seems to be working pretty well. So yeah, it's taken quite a while to get this done. I've been working on it for a good probably like 4 or 5 days now. So yeah, anyway, if we run this, and if we check the file that's been serialized to, a lot of stuff's going on. First of all, we still have our main object, that's fine. But within here, we've got 2 different pointers. They're both actually the same pointer, but this one was created first, so it actually lists out all of the data within it, and this is just referencing the second pointer here. This one is just a pointer back to the parent class, so it creates a loop, and without reference checking, then this would just go on forever and just crash until it ran out of memory. Yep, now it just references the already existing object. Anyway, so just to prove that that's working, we can go ahead and toggle this and chuck a breakpoint here, and we can just inspect this real quick. As you can see, the test pointer, second pointer, they're both pointing to the camera, I believe. Yep. So then within here, this is the camera class. It's got a circular pointer back to its parent, and it's also got a circular pointer back to its parent, but this is just referencing the base class of its parent. Alright, so that's pretty much going to be it for this devlog. I'm pretty late in getting this out, as per usual. Yeah, as I said before, I was just quite busy over the holidays and moving into the new house and everything, but yeah, hopefully we should have another devlog out next week. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to give it a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.